Here's your wrestling news for November 10th, 2022. And we're kicking off today with AEW, and for weeks, Samoa Joe and Wardlow have been aligned to stand their ground against the Embassy, but that team imploded on last night's Dynamite. After Wardlow destroyed Ari Daivari, the reigning AEW TNT champion called out Powerhouse Hobbs, all while Joe stood right behind him. Wardlow argued that the AEW TNT title will always be his and vowed to take every title in the company, which didn't sit right with Joe. Joe, the reigning Ring of Honor World Television Champion, attacked his now ex-tag team partner with the title and proceeded to choke out Mr. Mayhem and left him unconscious in the ring. AEW had previously teased a physical confrontation between the two, and now that War Joe is officially done, it's likely we'll have a title-for-title match soon enough. Both men have been champion for months, but neither has had a run that's exactly set the world on fire, so perhaps a feud between War Joe is exactly what Wardlow and Samoa Joe need. Prior to AEW Dynamite, Tony Khan vowed that the show would be a historic one, and Saraya's segment certainly delivered on that promise. After debuting at September's Grand Slam Dynamite, Saraya immediately teased a feud with Britt Baker, which some fans found odd given her neck issues. On last night's Dynamite, the former Divas champion and the former AEW Women's World Champion came face-to-face, and Saraya confirmed that she has been medically cleared for in-ring action. After a back-and-forth between the two, a match was set for Full Gear, and when Baker tried to get a cheap shot in, Saraya countered with a move of her own. Full Gear will mark Saraya's first match since Boxing Day 2017, when a WWE live event match at Madison Square Garden went horribly wrong and the British star got injured. On Twitter, many fans expressed their concern, saying that AEW will clear anyone if they think they can get viewers, with many saying this will end poorly for the former WWE superstar. Saraya's match will certainly be one worth watching at Full Gear, but do you think AEW is right in clearing her to wrestle? Let us know in the comments. More from AEW now, as Jeff Jarrett is the newest member of the roster, and it didn't take him long to do what several have done before, take shots at WWE. Appearing on this week's Dynamite, Jarrett spoke about his partnership with the likes of Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh, and said of the latter, "This ain't no make-believe monster who wears red skinny jeans and is produced by the banana-nosed Circus." Fans quickly picked up that this was a dig at Braun Strowman, who is the make-believe monster and has been wearing red skinny jeans since returning to WWE in September. Strowman hasn't exactly tried to win over fans, as he recently insulted indie wrestling and wrestlers before backtracking and saying it was just a joke. As for the line about the banana-nosed Circus, this is a dig at both WWE and Triple H, whose nose has proven to be material for countless wrestlers over the many years. Jarrett was blacklisted by WWE for years before being welcomed back in 2018, but after his surprising release this past August and his comments this week, it may be some time before WWE wants him on their screens. Double J may have had some choice words related to WWE this week, but he wasn't the only one who had the opposition on the mind. It was a couple of weeks ago that the firm betrayed MJF and took him out, and this week's show saw the #1 contender for the AEW World title make his first comment since the attack. During his sit-down interview, MJF name-dropped several stars of WWE, saying that he is the next big generational talent. This could be the potential crowning of the next face of the next generation of professional wrestling. Guys like Bruno Sammartino, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, guys like Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, John Cena. All of these men were generational talents, and that is exactly who MJF is. To his credit, MJF has become a huge star already in his career, and at his young age, will have plenty of years to work towards being a star as big as the ones he's mentioned. Is MJF at that level now? No, but with a world title match around the corner and being cast in the upcoming Iron Claw movie, The Salt of the Earth is making some serious waves. This week's AEW Dynamite took place at the Agganis Arena in Boston, Massachusetts, and some fans had predicted that Sasha Banks would be making her debut. Not long before Dynamite went live, Banks informed her fans that she was also in Boston, leaving some to speculate an appearance by the suspended WWE superstar. That, of course, didn't happen, as one Twitter user explained that the former SmackDown Women's Champion was in Boston for a movie project and provided texts from his brother, who's working on the flick, as proof. While many would no doubt like to see Banks face the likes of Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, and Hikaru Shida, that wasn't meant to be, and with reports of an imminent return to WWE TV, don't expect her to be working for Tony Khan, at least for a very long time. Earlier this week, we reported on John Cena, who is expected to compete at next year's WrestleMania 39. Cena's thriving acting career has resulted in him missing both this year and last year's WrestleManias, but a 2023 appearance isn't just wishful thinking on WWE's part. Ringside News reports that Cena has been very proactive and that he was the one to reach out to WWE, not the other way around. The 16-time WWE World Champion has gone straight to the top as he's spoken to Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, and Triple H about the show. It's also said that Cena is under contract with WWE for several more years and is committed to perform when mutually agreed upon. After missing the last two Manias, Cena is hoping to have a huge impact at next year's show, as the wrestler-turned-actor will be adding some huge star power to the showcase of the Immortals. There's no shortage of superstars who would love the chance to face Cena next year, and now one current champion has made his intentions clear. Earlier this year, Gunther was called up to the main roster and quickly captured the Intercontinental Championship, but has never squared off with Big Match John. Speaking to Steve Fall of NBC Sports Boston, the Austrian spoke about a potential feud with Cena and is all in on the idea. "That's something I would love to do. John Cena is one of the legends. Because he is not really active at the moment anymore, he just pops up, but when he does, if the chance is there for me, I'll gladly take it. One of, if not the most popular babyface in this sport of all time. I think I would be a great counterpart to that." For all of Cena's accolades in WWE, he's never held the Intercontinental title, and if he faces Gunther next year, John could finally become a Grand Slam champion. Gunther would certainly prove to be a formidable adversary for Cena, but who do you want to face the former world champion next year? Let us know in the comments. More from John Cena now, as it's impossible to argue that Big Match John would not have made it big in both wrestling and Hollywood if not for Vince McMahon. It was McMahon who gave Cena his big break in the WWE, leading to many world titles and a thriving Hollywood career, but his exit hasn't made things complicated. When Ringside News asked around about Cena's role in this post-Vince McMahon era, they were told that Cena remains loyal to Vince McMahon. That may be the case, but this won't be a problem for Triple H, Nick Khan, and Stephanie McMahon, as the report adds that Cena has made it clear that he does not consider performing for WWE as being disloyal to Vince. To his credit, McMahon has given his blessing and has encouraged Cena to help out WWE whenever he gets a chance to do so. Cena is a big shot in Hollywood these days, but he hasn't forgotten where he got his start and who gave it to him, but McMahon's controversial departure from wrestling will thankfully not be a problem for the new WWE. Since becoming WWE's head of creative and talent relations, Triple H has made a ton of changes, the majority of which have been well received by fans. It wasn't too long ago that it was reported how one big plan Triple H has is to bring back the King of the Ring tournament, and we now know more about the plans. WrestleVotes reports that there's a very good chance of Triple H bringing back the King of the Ring event, and that the plan is for the tournament to be a one-night show. While some King of the Ring events had qualifiers take place on TV before the semis and finals on pay-per-view, this idea is more akin to the 1980s in that every match in the tournament would be on one night. The report adds that Triple H is a big fan of old-school wrestling, so it makes sense that he wants to revitalize the concept used from back in the day, even before he broke into the business. With reports that WWE could also host their women's tournament, there could be plenty of matches on this one night, and time will tell who emerges as king and queen of WWE next year. And we're ending today with Vince McMahon, who ran WWE through good times and through bad times, and he ruled over his empire with an iron fist. Even before his retirement, there were plenty of stories of McMahon being a demanding boss, and it isn't just the wrestlers who have spoken out against the ex-chairman. Speaking on the latest Unscripted podcast, former WWE referee Jack Doan spoke about his own experiences with McMahon and the intense sacrifices Vince expected others to make. Very demanding, very intense, very intimidating. Expected you to miss birthdays, holidays, but he took care of you financially, you know? Family emergencies, he got you home. He cared about you and your family. But he was, this is your job, this is what I expect out of you, your payoff is I'm gonna make you financially secure while you're here. He was very demanding. I think some of Vince's problems with everybody was that not everybody is a Vince McMahon. Not everybody can put that much energy into what you love. But he expected a lot out of you. My old production manager, he got called on Christmas Day from Vince. This was probably 20 years ago. He said, "Steve, I got this idea." It was something he needed for the match. He said, "Vince, it's Christmas. Nobody's working." He goes, "I'm working." So that's just what you expected. Thankfully, things seem to be much better for the crew now that McMahon is gone, with reports that morale has soared under the new regime. But when you're tucking into Thanksgiving dinner, know that this probably wouldn't have happened if you worked for Vince McMahon. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.